Continuing to get a reaction and analysis and comment with regards to this story that's been breaking overnight. For those of you just joining us, several people have died or injured after a military airport in Syria came under missile attack, according to the country's state media, but as yet nobody has taken responsibility for that attack. Let's continue with our coverage and get some analysis on this. We're joined now by David Makki, who's a freelance journalist and commentator on Syria. Danny, should I say. He's currently in Damascus. Danny, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Tell us what you're hearing where you are about this.
Well, I mean, many residents of eastern Homs awoke late this evening, or earlier this morning, I should say, to a number of different large bangs, which were heard in the T4 military airbase in eastern Homs near the Palmyra area. Now, initially, the reaction from Damascus has been that this is likely to be a US strike after the alleged chemical attack yesterday. And it was almost confirmed in the early hours of today that up to 20 different missiles have hit this particular airbase, which was previously struck by the Israelis at some point last year. Now, after the situation became far more clearer, it was apparent that it wasn't the US which actually claimed a responsibility for the attack, but it was more likely the Israelis, who have previous history with Syria, and especially this particular airbase. Now, the report which I'm hearing from the actual airbase itself was that 20 missiles or rockets landed, 8 of them were intercepted by Syrian air defenses, and the maintenance site of this particular airport was damaged and destroyed. A number of different drones were also attacked and destroyed. Now, what we do know from this particular airbase is that it is shared by the Syrian army and Iranian-backed militias who have previously been known to have a large presence in the area. Now, what is very interesting is that the recent downing of an Israeli F-16 jet was actually instigated by an Iranian drone coming to the Israeli-Syrian borders from this particular airbase, which started off the maneuvers which led to the downing of an Israeli jet. So this particular airbase has a sensitivity in terms of covering different areas of Damascus and the border area, because it's based in the middle of Syria.
And so, obviously, you're telling us what you're hearing where you are, the extent of the damage, etc. Many of the analysts that we've spoken to are saying that because of the size of this attack, it's not the United States behind it. Also, the Pentagon have strongly denied that it is a US military attack. Therefore, many are pointing the finger to Israel now as the source of this attack. What would that mean from your perspective if that were the case?
Well, absolutely. It's more likely, and it's the more convincing argument at the moment, that it isn't a US attack due to the volume of the missiles actually launched. Now, if it is an Israeli attack, then that has serious repercussions in the sense that this is not related to the alleged chemical weapons attack yesterday, and it's not related to the events in Eastern Ghouta. This is a completely different subject where the Israelis have bided their time and are now retaliating for their jet, which was downed by Syrian forces a couple of months ago. I mean, this would be the perfect time for Israel to strike Syria, because the Syrians are actually waiting for a reaction from Trump after the series of tweets and the chemical weapons accusations yesterday. And the evacuation of Jaish al-Islam from Eastern Ghouta has added another dimension to this. So between these two large events, Israel has kind of sneaked in, if you like, and attack this particular airbase. And this is more of a lesson for the Iranians to take from rather than the Syrians, because this particular base has a large Iranian presence, as was previously discussed.